Welcome back. You're here with What's Up Sri Lanka. This is our second episode, and I believe you really enjoyed our last episode, which was about international affairs, politics, Sri Lanka, and many other topics.
Today we got several segments, especially we are focusing on election. I hope you will get to know more about
Yes.
as we move on.
Of course. So we had quite election-filled 2 weeks, I believe, US elections and Sri Lankan elections. So our topic is mainly around elections this time. So I would like to start from USA now. I would like to go to a very different topic, like not just the elections, but people behind elections, such as media, social media, and if I'm not wrong, this is a tech entrepreneur. I think now you guys may be getting the hint of who I'm going to
Yes.
talk about. It's Elon Musk. What do you think about Elon Musk?
I think when it comes to an election, there are people behind the scene, but sometimes they are way more powerful who are in front of the media or where people can really see. But Elon was very controversial because he was behind Trump all this time, but he was also in front of the audience. So
that's right.
and he donated significant.
Of course, he donated a significant amount of money for the Trump's campaign. And what I wanted to highlight here was one, apart from Elon Musk's other projects which involve different Tesla and different space projects and stuff, he also owns X, which is previously named as Twitter. From this platform also, Elon Musk played a significant role in gaining more supporters for Donald Trump. What I really wanted to talk about and share with our audience is how media is playing a critical role in elections, especially social media, even in Sri Lanka, if you don't mind. Yeah.
When it comes to Donald Trump, he was the first, I think, president who was banned by social media, X, then Twitter, Facebook, and various platforms. So he had to come up with his own sort of a social media platform. But with X, he had the opportunity to reach out the millions, maybe billions of people,
Of course.
especially Twitter, since Elon take over the Twitter and renamed it with the X. So there were significant change when it comes to policies, especially censorship. So previously there was some restriction about what to speak, what not to speak, and there were a lot of gatekeeping and especially some watchdog policies. But now Elon has decided to let people to express their own ideas. So I think that played a significant role when it comes to this election, because when Trump was not allowed to speak to mainstream media, especially most of the mainstream media, I hope our audience will agree with us that like CNN, maybe BBC and other media were not really supporting Trump. But when it comes to X, especially Elon, done something remarkable, because he had the opportunity to criticize the Kamala in a way that sometimes you might agree with me that offended some people.
Really?
But as a person who believe in free speech, I think sometimes freedom of speech might hurt some people.
When it comes to this, I would like to compare US elections and how media behaved in USA and compare it with Sri Lanka. Let's talk about that, because
Yes.
we also had presidential elections
Yes.
and we also recently had the parliamentary elections. In both these situations, we saw how mass media was behaving. Especially, I would like to highlight that even when it comes to presidential election, we had a candidate who also owned a mass
Of course.
media outlet.
Yes.
Apart from that, we also, commonly people used to name certain TV stations as supporting this political party, this candidate. So that's how Sri Lankan elections was also going on. But when it comes to social media, especially Facebook, it played a critical role in changing people's perspective on different things. I would say people were more educated this time and they were looking at the elections in a different perspective.
I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, that particular media institute own a newspaper and radio and TV channels, and they have massive audience. And I closely checked with that particular media outlet, and in a manner, I think they have used their power, that ability to reach out to people, way that in a manipulative way. This is my personal perspective, but when it comes to social media, it was totally different from what mainstream media behave, especially when it comes to fake news and AI generated content. But I think that has not been a huge issue when it comes to Sri Lanka like US.
Yes.
Because people when it comes to fake and like baseless allegations, I think Facebook, especially Facebook, when it comes to Sri Lanka, I think majority of the community use Facebook rather than X.
Yes,
So I think that platform has been used in a manner that where mainstream media fail to do their job.
At last, I would like to come to this point. So when it comes to an organization, we One Text Initiative, we conduct research, and in this research, one of the prominent researches that we have done is about clientelism. I always talk about this. So when it comes to media channels, it's important to highlight how this clientelism also work out, like how people are doing different favors, how people are doing different chores or maybe promotion activities to gain the people's vote for their parts. I mean, let's say this whole let's take a one media outlet. Maybe they are supporting another candidate and they are doing more promotions for them. They are doing more. They are more highlighting more of his news in the news channel.
Let me interrupt you one moment. All those media outlets, though they indirectly support a one particular candidate, they always claim they are impartial. They are independent. So that was the issue. In US, that was a different case, but in Sri Lanka, all these media institutes claim they are independent, they are free from any political ideology, yet they are indirectly promoting whatever the candidate they prefer, or maybe with the clientelism.
That's right. Yes.
So that was something very interesting.
It is interesting because they all come with their own agendas and their own perspectives, especially something that they need from the political class or maybe the political, when you say class now, it's different. Political, maybe political members or political representatives, something that they need. So that's where we can all, connect these issues together. How media outlets, political parties and voters are interconnected in this whole arena.
We are also moving on US election, and it has a direct connection with Sri Lankan election as well.
All right.
That is DEI policies. Why don't you explain what is DEI?
So DEI means diversity, equity and inclusivity recruitment. So when it comes to recruitments, this is the modern scenario, people would like to recruit more people to show the diversity, equity and that we are inclusive of all the communities. So even in Sri Lanka, we can see how there are a lot of organizations, lot of different movements which are encouraging for diversity, equity and inclusivity in different industries. Even in the politics, we've been talking about it. As you mentioned, I've been very vocal about the diversity of political arenas. So when it comes to Sri Lanka also, we had very good news lately that we recently appointed a prime minister, a female prime minister, and I'm very happy to see that. And it's a good news. Like we've been waiting for this for a very long time, and it's a good news. And what were you thinking about when you talk about US elections and DEI?
There was some actually criticism that
Uh-huh.
DEI policies over people who are with the skill and suitable for that particular job.
Okay.
I think there was some criticism. The Kamala was a DEI choice
Okay.
rather than she's suitable for the particular job. We cannot forget him. He was very vocal about it. He recently expressed that we need people with skill who are suitable for that particular job rather than being politically correct or DEI. When it comes to Sri Lankan politics, if we are appointing a cabinet, we should focus about the people's skill, ability to do their job and deliver their promises rather than being politically correct.
That's a very strong statement, I would say, Nuan. But I would like to add this also. I actually support DEI a lot. As you say, I agree. Whoever we appoint, even though it must be female or male or maybe from different ethnic groups, they should be able to deliver. They should be able to have the same skill sets that who they are overcoming. That's the issue
Yes.
you are talking about.
Let me interrupt. What I was saying that we should focus on skill and the ability to do their job rather than their ethnicity or their gender or any other things. It's about the person's ability to do the job and get it done and deliver their promise. So then, if you are focusing on that, then automatically people who are suitable for that particular task will be able to select.
Okay, that's good. So this is a very controversial topic. I would say people might not agree with what we are currently trying to portray. We are not against DEI. That's what I wanted to say. But it's about giving the job to the right person.
Exactly. But I think we let our audience to decide. Feel free to comment, and we are just talking about the people who are taking decision on behalf of entire country, even about the economy. So we have to choose the best people.
That's right. So one more thing. So earlier you were telling me about the ministerial secretaries, how there's no ethnicity representation.
Yes.
They are all Sri Lanka, Sinhalese people. What
Yes.
was that about?
I think if you check all the ministry secretaries, I haven't seen anyone from a minority.
Oh, okay.
So all they from a Sinhala majority. So what I'm saying, like if the president, the government decided to appoint those particular officials based on their skill set, rather than taking into consideration any other thing, I think that's a good job. But if there is any other sort of a policy behind it, I think that would be a very unwise decision. But I think it's too early.
It's too early.
Let's see.
Yes, that's right. Early votes in US election,
Of course.
which was a very interesting and very interesting component of US election. In Sri Lanka, we don't see this early votes. We have postal votes, but that is only for a certain number of people or certain group. I believe you had your chances to have
Yes.
do the postal votes, but not everyone can do it.
No.
But I honestly believe that we all should have that option. We should all should have that option to vote, maybe before or maybe in a remote way, not just. I think I need to explain it here. So why I'm telling this is, in Sri Lanka, the last parliamentary election, we saw a less turnout. 68% of the people voted,
And if I'm not mistaken, more than 5% of votes were rejected.
Oh, really?
That's another topic, but let's leave that out. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. When we are looking at the US election and Sri Lankan elections, there are a lot of differences, a lot of similarities. But again, there are some learnings as well, such as the early votes and how we can improve the election system. Maybe it's a topic for another day. No, let's
And
wrap
then
it up
I
now.
think we should have someone who's way more qualified, who has a way more understanding about this. But feel free to comment about your idea, and we hope you have some ideas to share with us as well.
Yes, please comment, like us, and follow the One Text Initiative YouTube channel. Thank you so much.